You'll see frequently in the news that there was an S3 bucket that had improper permissions on it, and there was sensitive data that was available publicly. And sometimes we criticize that and we say, oh, how could they do that? It's so simple. But really, it's not simple managing buckets. A lot of times we say that complex is the enemy of security, because the more complex something gets, the more difficult it is to implement security standards and practices to protect the thing that we are designing in a complex way. And that is true of S3 buckets. You can have a single bucket that's being used by hundreds of people, hundreds of applications, and to manage a single bucket policy for dozens of permission levels, it becomes very complex very quickly. And so I don't fault people who make these mistakes when configuration or permission changes occur, because a lot of times people hesitate making changes to the bucket policy because I'm afraid if I make this change, it's going to affect all these permissions over here. Therefore, I just will allow this larger set of permissions that maybe isn't a good idea. And that's exactly why mistakes occur when you're managing S3 bucket policies. And so now AWS has come out with S3 access points. And I think this is a great solution to this problem. The access points are customized permissions for an application or a team who need to access the bucket and the data that's within the bucket. And so if you just think about the name that they chose for this, access points, you might think in terms of wireless access points that people access in order to get access to the same thing, which is the main network behind it. But you might have different permissions and different groups that are connecting to each access point. And that's what an S3 access point is doing. Each access point is named with a access point name followed by the Amazon ID. And this naming convention can keep permissions separated from the bucket policy itself. And really the goal is to keep the bucket policy simple. Therefore, you can focus on security and having a strong bucket policy, but now you can manage permissions and network controls through the access point in order to give unique permissions for an application or a team through this new capability with AWS. So check out S3 access points. I think you'll find that it will greatly simplify your life and allow you to manage those permissions a little bit more adeptly.